So what I have to show you today is a test piece of artwork for a project that I'm hoping to do, a much larger project. And it's sort of linked to the urban sketching work that I've done in the past. But this is urban stitching, so the idea is that I will actually be producing this work in the street, which is what I've done for this test piece. And you can see it's a very long piece, so I was working on it curled up. And the idea is that it's about the fact that in our modern society, we're very rarely where we actually are. We're constantly either on screens, so we're somewhere else because we're in the world that's the virtual land, or we're thinking about where we're going to be and what we're going to be doing next, or what just happened. Or, people working remotely so that they're somewhere else. They're in neither place. So this is about a kind of concentrated awareness of being where you actually are. And the idea is that I would walk the streets that I think I know, the streets where I live, but in a very slow, attentive way, stitching as I walk. So, as you can see, these sort of arrow stitches, these represent a pace. Each time I take a pace, I do a stitch. And these little stitches, they represent standing still moments. So I was messing about trying to get all my cottons together and dropping things, and that's why I was standing still as I began. I'm experimenting with recording the roads that I'm on as I change roads. So you can see here, I'm walking along. I'm recording trees so that you get a sense of whether I'm in a green area or not. And the idea is that I will try and interact with people as I go along. And each time I do, I will record the interaction with a number and make a note of some of the conversations that we have, and also take a photo of their feet. And the idea is that I will then have all these photos of feet that I will embroider with the conversations, and that will be a piece that works alongside this. And there's sort of rules. So one of the rules of the project is that every 25 paces I have to pick something up off the street where I am and incorporate it into the work. So here we have a leaf, obviously, and a bit further on, another 25 paces, a bit of litter and another tree and another interaction. Quite a lot of standing still here, so that was obviously a decent long conversation. A bit more movement. And this is turning a corner into a new road. And you can see it's a very leafy area, which meant a lot of standing still, both embroidering the trees and talking to people 3 and 4. And it was quite interesting. The idea of interacting with strangers, it's that we don't interact with people enough. We all share this environment that we're walking through, but we're very much in our own heads a lot of the time. And making these kind of connections with strangers is one of the things that I enjoy most about the urban sketching. The random conversations that you have with people that you probably will never see again. But they make life memorable, they make life rich. And so it's sort of a celebration, this work, of all the tiny moments that of being in a space and meeting these people and just having this trivial time. But actually that's what life is about. That is what the human experience is about. So you can see how it works. You get the idea now. Lots of walking, lots of standing and talking, various bits of litter and leaves. Also, I'm trying to record the weather. So I don't know if you can see there, but this is got another layer over the top. This is to represent the fact that it was cold on that day. It was really windy, a bit like it is today. And this is to represent the fact that here the sun came out. So stitching in a bit of felting wool roving. And all this work, finally onto another, was very, very slow. I was surprised. One of the things I thought was that I would move more, but the combination of the actual stitching and the conversations and various things meant that what we've got here is 2.5 meters of work, and that 2.5 meters represents just 2 days of walking, and I only managed to cover 3 streets. So it was interesting to do the test to find that out. I'm going to see if I can speed things up a little bit, but you don't want to speed them up too much, because that's the whole point of it, that you're going very, very slowly. This is a marker that I put on because I also want to attach things that happen. I want to create tags that actually add information. So when things of interest, random events happen while I'm out and about. So that's it really, and it'll be interesting to see whether I manage to get this project off the ground. What I want to do is spend a lot longer, maybe spend something like 6 weeks walking a spiral path from my house around the streets, the different streets. I think that random path will take me through lots of different kinds of streets and places that I know and places that I don't know. And it will be interesting to get a different sort of relationship with the area that I live in.